Hey y'all, what's good? Welcome to Wake Up with Love. I am so glad you chose to start your morning with us today. This is a sacred space cultivated with spirit, heart, and purpose, designed to support you in becoming the greatest expression of the massive blessing you came into this world to be. So let's get into it. What is good, beautiful people?
Good morning.
So they stopped the construction right until we started, and then they decided the break was over. So this is going to be a noisy podcast, but it's a worthy one. Real talk, real transparency.
Sometimes you got to cut through the noise, literally.
Or truth be spoken. I woke up this morning and Betsy said, let's go live. And I said, I don't have anything for the people today. And she said that, well, this is where she steps in for consistency and support and bringing it through. And then, just in the moment, we were speaking about one of the breakdowns we recently had around alignment with another person. And this morning it hit me, this beautiful analogy that money for me is what yeast is to baking. It's what helps it rise, but it's a very small part of the actual ingredients necessary for baking. And so a very little bit goes a very long way when you have the right counterpart ingredients that are just needing that little extra boost to pop up on you and look like a glistening whatever. Well, it's going to look like, what pastries look like in those glass containers.
With all the lamination. With the lamination. In like a croissant or whatever.
Oh, is that
with
what
all
it's called?
the layers. Yes.
Oh, I thought
have you not watched enough of the Great British Baking Show with me?
I have not. Okay.
Lamination, people.
Yeah.
For a flaky layered pastry. The crumb of the bread. You gotta get your verbiage.
This is the woman that loves baking shows but won't bake me no baking.
There's probably a metaphor in there somewhere.
Nothing in the kitchen.
No,
you
but
need to have some fruit from your watching.
You just want to eat it.
Exactly. You need to get inspired.
You're like, you gotta actually bake so I can eat it.
Bring it to the 3D.
No, but I loved this metaphor when you said it this morning because I was like, I feel like so many people right now are trying to figure out what the essence of money is. Like people are trying to work with and figure out the energy of money. And there's so many people that are struggling with the energy in one way or another, whether they have it or they don't have it. And they have so many different stories about it and what it means. And not only that, but money is so tied to our value story because up until now, I mean, that's literally what the quality we've ascribed to it, right? It's our current value system. You do this for me, I value you with this much money, right? And so it gets all wrapped up and entangled with these like deep parts of ourselves and who we are. And the truth is, money is a tool, right? It's a tool, but it's not, and like you were saying, it's not the main ingredient in the recipe. It's not the main ingredient in what you're baking, but without the yeast, it can't rise, right? So you need it. You need it for the kind of technical quality that it has to give the outcome of what you're baking the correct texture and the correct essence. And it isn't like driving the whole recipe. Like you mess up the other ingredients, you miss it. Like those are the important ones for the flavor, to actually determine what it is you're baking. The yeast is not it, right? But you need it in order for it to rise. And I thought that was such an excellent metaphor.
You're on it today. She's in it. Yeah.
I liked it. It's because I've been talking to so many people. Like this is the Achilles heel for so many people. They're like, if I could just get my money story, my abundance story, my whatever in place, I'd be fine. Right? And it's like, how do we look at money for what it is, make sure that we're giving it the important role in which it is right now for the way the world is structured, but not giving it.
So I think there's an elephant in the room.
Ooh, tell me.
And I think it's the reason that we're putting conscious folks that understand that money is nothing but an agreement of value that we've placed. And then there's been an addition of value in things to make up for the lack of value we have in ourselves.
You're saying we're putting value externally
because it's missing within.
Because we don't have it within. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. So So that's right. So that's the thing. Like, we know that there's an having agreed upon value globally.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But when we start replacing things with self-worth to fill, we start shopping for emotional coping.
Ooh, to fill a hole.
You know what I'm saying? We start buying fancy things to show self-worth to others, or an idea of self-worth. You know? All of these things is where it goes awry, right?
Yeah.
But let me go even deeper. And, the elephant within the elephant, it's
like
a
a
Trojan,
Russian doll of
elephants. Yes, a Trojan horse of elephants. Is that there's one thing that we believed forever. It's as old as the Bible. And that is that you are not going to become the medicine you are meant to be in the community you were born into. You are not unlikely to be recognized by your family, by your community, for the gifts that you have been touched with, that you have been ordained to bring forward.
You're saying the people who are closest to you
are not going
to be the ones.
Are not going to be the ones
to see you.
To see that's the reality that's the blueprint that we've been living in, and to me that is the sour ingredient in all baking ingredients. You're literally
baking with rotten eggs.
You're baking with the rotten egg. Thank you. It's the rotten egg Trojan horse in every creation right now, and
I don't think that's universally true.
It's so I was just watching the documentary on Biggie,
and
he had his best friend with him, and he was traveling with Biggie around the world, and many relate to this Biggie as the greatest rapper, one of the greatest rappers. If people have a top 5, it's rare that Biggie's not in it, right? For y'all that don't follow hip hop. And so he's that internationally acclaimed in everyone's top 5, but his best friend from childhood that's traveling with him is actually saying, why are they going so crazy over Chris? I don't see it. I don't get it. Like, they're doing all this, people passing out, getting excited, like wanting his autograph and showing up to his concert. Our baby's in the background and wanting to put her dress on right now.
I'm going to do that. You keep talking.
So this is what it is, folks. And if we want a new reality, we have to have a new actual way of being with each other. And I believe we, community, us family, has to be the first to recognize the gifts that God has bestowed upon each of us. We have to be the ingredient that supports that gift in manifesting, meaning we have to be the ones that say under no reality is anything or anyone going to come in here and degrade the gifts and talents of one of my loved ones. My brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my aunts, my children, my nephews, anyone in my community, and then outward into my community, that no one is touching the power and the beauty in them. And this is the ingredient that is going to shift the whole game. And it's been really amazing because there's been many times in my recent past where people that I trust, that I love, that love me, tell me they don't believe in me. That I can't do what I say I'm out to do. I cannot do what God told me I'm here to do. It's pretty much what it is. And the truth is they were 100% right because they took themselves out of the recipe. So they were right. Now, if I want to go and create myself anew and go to a foreign land and try to prove myself, that I could do that. But I'm guaranteed that my brothers and my sisters are going to be the ones that are going to be through with me my whole life. As a parent, I'm going to be the ones that are going to love up on my children for the rest of my life. How am I not going to be the ingredient in their majesty and their success and their love? How am I not going to lift my sister up and my brother up? How am I not going to see what millions of others will see? How can I allow myself to be blind to that and you to it? It doesn't. It's the rotten egg. Mm-hmm. So I was just really speaking to, like, if we want a new reality, this is where we need to start.
Well, and I think that this is the elephant in the elephant in the elephant, if we're going to keep going with the metaphor. But and I've been encouraging people to do this so often, even within our relationship, we've been talking about this lately, is like, how do you allow people to be new? Because I think that what happens with that is it's like you've known someone since they were a tiny human and you have like a conception of who they are or what they can be, but you're not giving them the space to grow and expand and shift and change. We're changing all the freaking time.
Yes.
Always. We're constantly growing and evolving. And if we don't give each other the room for that, if we don't give each other the room to say who you were yesterday is not who you are today, and who you will be tomorrow is not who you are now. And I celebrate that, and I give room for that, and I give space for you to be even bigger than I ever thought you could, because I actually want that for you. And I hope you want that for me. And I know it's the hardest the longer we've known people, but it's so important. It's so important in any long-term relationship, whether it's family, friendship, romance. Like, we have to give the room for people to be new.
Yep.
And so I actually want to offer that as a challenge for y'all today to kind of examine, like, where are you at in your long-term relationships, whatever kind of relationship they may be. How much more room can you give for the people you love to be new? And what are the relationships you're in? What are kind of the concepts you're holding about somebody that you've held for a really long time?
Yeah.
Have you had the same idea about your brother, sister, friend, parent, even your parents? Y'all, children do this to parents too. You know?
It's a locking.
Totally. We lock each other into these like ideas of who we are.
We don't allow them to change.
Exactly. So how much freedom can we give people to expand? Open the door of the cage. Let them fly out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my challenge for y'all today.
No, it's true. And demand it for yourself.
Yes.
When you see people and like you've already changed, but you get around them and you feel like you're like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's them holding a belief in you or about you and not willing to allow you to express the newness that you are in front of them.
Yes.
It's this is rich, yo. This is a rich conversation.
Yeah.
Raw and unfiltered. And I demand it now. I demand room for the miracle in every moment to be anew. That I may be given a new piece of information. There may be a bar on my cage that's broken loose, and I get more room to be loved, to be light, to be happy, to be joyful, to be powerful, to be potent. I can have, in any moment, I could be endowed with more than I was a moment ago. And my relationships must not only have room, but celebrate that. I love a line. Encourage it. I had a line one day, and I hope they say that about me one day, where there was this beast, and they were on a team, and everyone was like, well, I'm just glad he's on my team and not on the opposition. Yeah. Because he's a beast. And a beast of goodness. And that's my life right now. I want people that are just like, I'm just glad love is on my team, because I would hate to face that brother on the opposition side running towards me. And therefore they want me to be the biggest and the baddest and the rawest possible, because they know I'm a secret weapon. I'm the weapon, one of the weapons that we carry. And I want that for everyone. I want everyone around me to be the biggest and the baddest and the most expressive, loving version of themselves. And I want to continue to cultivate and push the edge on that, because we're going to need it. We're going to need them. We're going to need each other. So that's what I got for you today. That comes from not having anything to give, to saying a whole lot of stuff.
You just show up. Sometimes exactly what's meant to be comes out.
Okay. Well, I hope it bounces off your heart. As always, GIG Goodness in Action Global Initiatives are for humanity enterprise, working to make greatness possible. Everything that God touches is great. So the question I'm asking is, why aren't we witnessing more greatness on a daily level from everyone around us? We answer that question, and we live in a new world. So much love.
Peace.
All right, beautiful people. Thank you for listening. If you were moved by what you heard today, you know what to do. Like it, share it, spread the love around. Until next time.